Over the Horror with your host with the most Jennifer. As always, welcome back. So we are talking about a movie that I've been meaning to discuss for a very long time. Rewatched it over this past weekend because out here, a few of the high schools in the area had their prom. I think, this is the prom season, obviously, kind of across the nation. I know prom season out here kind of started a couple weeks ago with some of the high schools. High school I used to go to, their prom was this weekend along with a couple of the other schools in the district. So I figured, hey, you know what? I'm gonna pop in Prom Night from 1980, which stars obviously Jamie Lee Curtis and Leslie Nielsen. I know, it's still blows my mind when I watch this or Creepshow to see Leslie Nielsen, who is such a slapstick comedy actor and everything, to see him play something so straight-laced. But yeah, so this one, Prom Night and Terror Train, let me tell you, those are two movies that I really do enjoy, but they're probably my lesser favorite Jamie Lee Curtis movies. Obviously I really love the first Halloween, and I love the original Fog. Those are probably my two favorite Jamie Lee Curtis horror movies and everything. With Terror Train and Prom Night, it kind of really depends on what kind of mood I'm in that will reflect how I really may or may not enjoy one of these movies. But Prom Night, I definitely, I watched it Saturday night after work, and I gotta say, I was really digging it. I was really, really loving it that night. I was like, this is definitely a great picture. It's a great film and everything. So, but yeah, let's get into it. So there is going to be spoilers in this. Once again, it's literally almost 40 years old by now. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry to spoil the ending, but I'm giving you a warning. But then again, it's been 40 years. Whatever. But anyway, so basic premise is, movie starts off, group of three kids, little kids, walking home from school. Obviously, pretty given that they're all related, they're siblings and everything. And two of the kids, the boy and the young girl, are twins. Now, I know that there was never really a scene explaining that, but I guess there was a scene that was taken out that kind of sort of explained it or sort of threw it out there of oh yeah, the twin or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I feel with this movie, I've never, I've always kind of known, okay, yeah, the two are twins. The two young kids were twins. So, I'm just saying, I don't know if everyone else was kind of like that, of oh, I'm not sure if they're twins, I know they're siblings. I just always kind of had given the fact that, yeah, they're twins. So, I don't know, I'm just saying. But these three siblings are walking home. The slightly older one, and when I say slightly older, we find out, she's, a year older than these other two kids. Walking home, the older sister realizes she forgets a book at school and has to go back, tells the other two to just go straight home. And, of course, they stumble upon this, abandoned warehouse or whatnot. Other kids from, their class or from their sister's class are playing this game, whatever, this, serial killer game or whatever. And the sister, the twin, wants to kind of join them. And the brother's like, come on, no, let's go. They don't want you in their game. Let's go, come on. She should have listened to her brother, but she didn't. Goes in, kind of sneaking around, and she kind of unintentionally sort of ruins the game for one of the kids, so he kind of decides to get back at her, killer, I found the serial killer. They end up accidentally literally killing this girl because she gets kind of frightened, is kind of cornered, and falls out of a window, killing her. Yeah. So of course, these kids, these little asshole kids, one of the girls is okay, no one can say anything. No one can ever say anything. This is our secret. You promise, and goes to each kid. Do you promise? And they all promise. So fast forward 6 years later, prom's coming up and everything. Everyone's getting excited. And of course, we come back to all these kids that are involved. Jamie Lee Curtis is all grown up, as well as her brother, Alex, who was the twin to the other sister, Robin, who was her name, who ended up getting killed. And then we see kind of like the other kids. And here's the thing. Um, Jamie Lee Curtis's um, character, Kim, is actually dating Nick, who is one of the kids who accidentally killed her little sister. She had no idea, because of course no one knows. No one had any idea. We come to find out that some guy was pinned for the death of this girl. Yeah, so then things start happening. These kids start getting obscene phone calls and stuff. And it's starting to be explained that, oh, so and so, he escaped. Yeah, there's been a death. We got to really keep an eye out for this guy and everything. So you're kind of thinking, okay, so obviously the killer is going to be this psycho who has escaped and was wrongly accused of killing this girl, and maybe just so happens to find out or knew who actually was involved in these kids. Obviously, I mean, he didn't even know, so it's like, at some point, you would probably kind of realize, like, wait a second, how does he know that it's these kids that were involved? Spoiler alert! It is Alex, Robin's twin brother, that is getting revenge on these kids. Way to go, Alex, man. Way to defend your fucking sister, man. That is fucking love. And it makes sense, too, that it would be the brother, especially a twin, because if you've ever kind of, like, read a little bit or seen a little bit on, like, twins, there is that sort of bond and connection with them, even if one ends up passing away at whatever point in life, whether it's, like, a miscarriage or a death somewhere in life, they still sort of feel that connection. They might feel a sense of loss, like much deeper than if you were not a twin. So, he's been dealing with this for 6 years. He probably feels some guilt on himself for letting his sister go in there, not really following his sister to be like, hey, come on, let's go. Kind of feels his parents as, especially being a boy, not sticking around and protecting his sister, especially his twin, but then we kind of do turn around and see him as he gets older, being very protective of his older sister, Kim, and everything. So, yeah, I mean, so you do see some of this stuff, and I think each of the characters, especially the family, whether it's Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Leslie Nielsen's character as the father, or even the mother, and obviously the brother, you can have a sense of like, okay, it probably is one of these guys, because I mean, it was one of their family members that got killed, and like it, very different things going on and everything, but it's pretty well done, you guys. Like I said, I mean, I feel like this is like, one of the weaker sort of Jamie Lee Curtis movies, but it's still such a good time. Still very much fun. I mean, obviously, it kind of fell in that trap of stereotypical slasher 80s movie, but it still works. I love it. Great cast and everything. Got some decent kills. So, yeah, definitely worth checking out, you guys. You will not be disappointed. And do not watch that crappy-ass remake. Like, that remake, literally, I let my dog shit on it. I'm just saying. Just saying. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments what you think of the original Prom Night in the comments below. Till next time, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.